is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you a wonderful panel put together by Vandana Hart of We Speak Dance, moderated by Michelle Voss and Vandana. And with that, I will turn it over to Michelle. Michelle, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today. We're excited to be here and excited for everyone at Davos and Davos Worldwide. I'm excited to introduce this panel today and starting off, no less with Vandana Hart, who is inspiring global change through movement and leadership. Just going to introduce the panels today. So from refugee to global change maker, Vandana Hart has traveled to over 100 countries, inspiring leaders and organizations to lead from the heart. As creator, the host of Netflix We Speak Dance, she uses the universal language of dance to foster connect, wellness, and empowerment worldwide. Her keynote, Heart Moves, takes audiences on a transformative journey into embodied leadership, overcoming isolation, embracing wellness, and fostering unity. A UN ambassador and co-founder of the Safe Cities Global Program, she has championed women's safety in 50 countries and inspired action at global forums like YPO, Nexus, COP26, as well as the refugee camps and prisons. Grounded in her studies at Avalon Alley, NYU, and the London School of Economics, Vandana combines storytelling, innovation, and artistry to transform audiences, proving that when we move together, we can change the world. Also introducing Ahmad Jude, dancer, choreographer, public speaker. Ahmad was born and raised in Syria as a stateless refugee. Ahmad became fascinated about dancing when he saw a ballet performance for the first time in his life at the age of 8. Ever since, to become a dancer was his dream. In 2016, he moved to Amsterdam with the help of the Dutch National Ballet. Since 2017, he has been internationally active as an artist. In 2021, he obtained Dutch nationality. In May 2022, the image of Ahmad Jude dancing the Song of the Bird was projected onto a huge screen behind Yo-Yo Ma and Emmanuel Axe playing a Catalan folk tune about freedom at World Economic Forum Annual Meeting 2022. In January 2023, Ahmad has participated at the World Economic Forum Annual Meeting as a cultural leader from the Netherlands. In April 2024, Ahmad was appointed as a young global leader. Queen Putni Yawanawa, daughter of the legendary Yawanawa leader Tunkuru, Putni and her sister Hushahu were the first women of the Yawanawa nation to receive the highest spiritual initiation from the elders. They earned the community's respect as spiritual leaders, opening the way into the sacred path of 4 other Yawanawa women. It was a break in tradition that united the male and female universe and brought the magic of feminine spirituality to strengthen the Yawanawa culture. For this achievement, they received a commendment from the Brazilian Senate as recognition of their important role in Brazilian women's empowerment. Putni has an incredible voice and presence representing her people's ancestry. She spent a good portion of the past years in the sacred village where she organizes spiritual retreats. Sa, trauma-informed embodied spirituality, rebel mystic, transforming lives through Buddhism, somatic dance, and art. Host of Solving the Riddle of Being Human and 3 times best-selling author. Sa de Simone is a humanitarian spiritual innovator and grief educator whose work integrates Buddhist somatics, ecstatic dance, contemplative psychology, and social justice for personal and collective healing. Sa hosted the British TV show Big Celebrity Detox and has reached millions through social media. He is a guest lecturer at Columbia University and won Best Experimental Film at the at the Cannes World Film Festival for touching the ungrieved grief. He has also cared for the sick and dying at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in LA. Faces, dancer, choreographer, producer. Edgar Reyes Aldo, known as Faces, is a versatile dancer and performing artist specialized in urban dances, particularly popping. With extensive training in various dance styles such as ballet, jazz, hip hop, contemporary, and more, he has worked on educational projects like LA Red and Freestyle Workshop. He is also the director of Ocean Lines Dance Company, dance group of street dance formation. Additionally, he has a strong spiritual and cultural commitment seeking to preserve ancestral tradition and promote positive change in the community to leave a better planet. And lastly, Claude Gislin, who is our translator today, is Peruvian, spending most of his time in the Peruvian Amazon in Brazil. He trained as an anthropologist in Belgium, but spends more time closer to indigenous system in the systems than to academia, including different masters from the Shipibo, Arkua Co, and pardon me if I'm mispronouncing these, Tubu and Yawanawa people, among others. After many years of quest, his role revealed itself to the bridge between worlds. He has been an ayahuasca retreat facilitator and advocate for the indigenous cause since 2008. He has witnessed extraordinary possibilities from his teacher's mastery of the healings. The teachers, the stories, the medicines, and the technologies. His calling is People Are United. Claude serves as a member of the IMC Fund Ayahuasca Technical Team. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, and I look forward to learning more about you guys, and I'm going to hand this over to Vandana.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you, Davos, for hosting us. Greetings from Mexico. It is such an honor to be on this We Speak Dance panel, hosting some of the greatest dancers and world movers on our planet. It is such an honor for We Speak Dance to host dance leaders and music leaders around the world to showcase the power of story, movement, music. With story, movement, and music, we create unity that transcends all borders, all divides, all nations, all religions. Dance is the most universal language that we have to connect across the planet. And with war, with lots of violence that we're seeing across media, we must bring dance into classrooms to the youth before the wars happen as a prevention tool. In my work with the United Nations in 50 countries with UN Women, I was the co-founder of the Safe Cities Global Program to end violence against women and girls. And I found when I brought dance in the programming in the Congo, that the solutions we came up with were so much more profound. And the trust we were able to build with dance within minutes was as strong as what it would take a lifetime to build. And this is the power that we have, not just only in the Congo in a war zone where women are victims of violence and rape, but we have this tool in our businesses, in our companies, to build human connection and bonds where we actually care for each other in seconds. This is the power of the universal language of dance. And through all the conversations and lots of speaking within the United Nations with hundreds of leaders around the world, from mayors, presidents to grassroots leaders, I found that the most profound transformation in human connection at the heart level, which is vital for this next generation, is really leading from the heart, from stillness into the heart, into full action for our planet. And one of the most beautiful ways to concretize this full presence and peace building across the world, I've found, is not through words. It's actually through moving together, moving our bodies, the power of our bodies, moving together as one. So I created We Speak Dance when I was living in Kenya, and I was a judge on So You Think You Can Dance Kenya, and I was watching the whole nation dance. And I realized that this art form is missing. We need culture and spirit and movement and story to lead, not just our words. and this is the missing piece. So I created the show We Speak Dance on Netflix worldwide. Season 1 is there. We travel to many countries, including Nigeria, Lebanon, France, Indonesia, Vietnam. And what's so beautiful, when we traveled to Lebanon, we brought hip hop with the best hip hop dancer in Lebanon, Omar, to a refugee camp, a Syrian refugee camp. And he told me, Vandana, I've never brought dance to, I'm half Syrian. I've never brought dance to a refugee camp. And what I learned after teaching these girls, he kept going back after the show on Netflix. He kept going back every week, sharing dance with these young girls. And he said, Vandana, I'm not teaching them dance. I'm teaching them women's empowerment. I'm teaching them that their bodies matter. I'm teaching them that they can move. They can not just move their bodies, they can move the world. And this is what our youth need. The next generation, we need to invest in our schools, in our education systems from the young age where we dance each other's dances. We know each other's cultures. And when we dance each other's dances, sing each other's songs, we care about each other's cultures, and we prevent violence, and we do peace building, and we become the next generation of youth for the planet that is truly global citizens. We want global citizens. We are a globally connected world. The technology does not design for peace. The heart designs for peace. And we ask all of the leaders at Davos to design for peace and bring dance, the power of this universal language of dance and music, into your companies, into your schools, into your families, into your daily life. This is really the path to peace that I have witnessed in my 100 countries of humble travel, working with grassroots communities, and seeing the healing power of this modality. Also for liberation and any transformation, interviewing the Nelson Mandela family, part of our season 2 of We Speak Dance, which has not been released yet. The grandson of Nelson Mandela, Ndaba, shared with me dances of protest that they would do before going out to fight for freedom. And seeing that this gave the confidence to stand for justice and to be in our full power and our full presence, to face what is happening in the most challenging moment of your life is one of the most profound stories that I've covered with this global platform. We Speak Dance is far beyond a Netflix TV series. It is about the dancers and people who love dance and how we can move together and to create harmony across the earth in our daily life and in the moments that are the most challenging. It is such an honor to be an ambassador for the UN and to be an ambassador for the arts and cultures across the earth. The last story I'm going to share before I'm going to interview some of my favorite dancers on the planet, and also some of the best friends that I have made have been dancing. When you meet someone and you ask them, what's your name? Where are you from? That's only so interesting. But when you lock eyes and you dance with someone first, which I did with Sadi Simone in Indonesia, we danced for hours and then we spoke. And this friendship has been lifelong, over 10 years. So don't underestimate the power of dance also for the simple things. And real peace building is also around friendship and the simplicity of friendship and just loving someone so much and knowing them and seeing their authentic expression. So the last story I'm going to share is filming We Speak Dance Season 2 in Mexico, in Oaxaca. The cultural ministry showed me so many powerful dances that I could film. Each region of Oaxaca has an incredible form of dance, and they all perform a De La Guetza together to celebrate all the diverse cultures. And each country in the world that I've gone to has hundreds of languages of dance that are dedicated to nature, that are dedicated to how to sustain the connection and harmony with nature. And I featured many of these traditional dances. However, I met a girl who's 13 years old, who was a dance activist, bringing dance into the women's prison. She was sharing ballet. And I said, I want to feature her story. So we went to the women's prison and she shared her ballet class. And then the women asked me to also share ballet and share dance moves from around the world, because I've traveled to 100 countries and these women cannot travel. Of course, they're in this horrific situation. And many of the women are in the prison for life. So I played music from cultures across the world, and we moved our hips and yelled and danced and screamed We're like, we are the most free women in the world. And we all danced together in this beautiful circle. And after the women shared with me how this felt, they said, I felt like I traveled the whole world with you. I feel like I traveled everywhere and that I am free. So even in a refugee camp, even in a prison in Oaxaca, even in the harshest conditions, this is a tool for resilience. This is a tool for immediate joy, and it's free. So I just want to thank Davos for hosting We Speak Dance to share these important stories from around the world for this most powerful universal language that we have. I would love to start introducing us to Ahmed, who's a Syrian refugee, and I witnessed Ahmed online. We haven't met in person yet, but I saw him dance and I felt it was a direct connection to source, into oneness, and the most beautiful twirling I have ever seen in my life. And I've always wanted to connect with you, Ahmed, and what an honor to meet you here on the stage at Davos. Please share your story of dance for your personal transformation, as well as how you've seen it as a tool for peace across the planet.
Thank you very much. I am honored to be joining you in this session, especially here in Davos. I miss Davos so much. Yes, so when we talk about dance, like we have a word that we share, all of us, which is freedom. We seek freedom through dance. And in my situation, I was born as a stateless refugee in a refugee camp in Damascus in Syria, which gave me the situation that I didn't have any citizenship or any passport or any ID card or these kind of things. But luckily, during my life in Syria, I got, let's say, the rights of any citizen. So basically, I didn't realize that I didn't have a country until I graduated from the Higher Institute for Theatrical Art, the dance department, and I got a scholarship by the Dutch National Ballet in the Netherlands. And then I wanted to travel there, to continue my studies. And suddenly I discovered the word stateless in the Netherlands. And I was like, but no, I was born in Syria. They're like, no, you were born as a refugee. So I was like, oh God, okay. We get to dive into that. But during my life in Syria, choosing to become a dancer was something very dangerous because first of all, culturally, men don't really ballet dance, we dance folklore. And during the war in Syria, a lot of extremists came to the country, and my head was wanted for these extremists because I was actively teaching dance for orphan kids and also in SOS children villages and Down syndrome institutions. And wherever I could give back to my country during the war, that I did. And also maintaining my dance as a dancer, because I believe the artist has the same duty as a soldier. We artists, we fight for culture and art, because a country without culture and art is a country not worth fighting for. So I thought we need to save at least this side of our culture, because in Syria I grew up like I had a refugee father and a Syrian mother, where my mother is from Palmyra, where I'm super proud of her because she's very, very strong woman, very independent, and she taught me what patience is all about and what the determination is all about as well. So yeah, so I have already a mixed culture in my blood, but do I have a passport? No, I did not have a passport. I could not travel to most of the countries where our dance company could perform. I could not go. And that was something painful for the whole time, that other dancers could go, but you cannot. And I was not alone. I had other colleagues in the company who are stateless and could not go. But then I wanted to belong so bad. I was just like, what is home? The complexity of home that I grew up having. I started to look for home, and in my journey finding home, I found myself. I found the little 5 years old Ahmed who lives in the core of my body, who I made an agreement with this little child that I will be his supporter and I will be his protector and I will take his hand and make him travel the world and change his life, which is me, 5 years old, Ahmed. And I chose this because every human being, if you think, what is the most free human being? Who is the most free human being? Is the little children. Because we don't have still yet, when we are little children, we don't have this, rules, or when we want to laugh, we laugh really loud. When we want to run, we run and shout. We don't care. We're free human beings. So I decided to make this agreement with little 5 years old Ahmed and live my life through his freedom. That's why I work with children. That's why I love working with children. Like I did so many projects, especially in orphanages, because like in Marrakesh, for example, there's this orphanage where I went to teach dance there. Also refugee camps, also like institutions like SOS children villages, or wherever there is a little child, maybe like practicing some dances at the park. I I come to them and I'm like, can I help you? And I just exchange inspiration with children. And I wish we could always think of the child we've been, the child within, and just have a connection and keep this connection and support ourselves and be for ourselves what we couldn't reach in this world, or what no one could give us, we should give ourselves. So through dance, I could change my life. I could have a better life. I could have better education. I traveled and I performed in all the places where I dreamed to perform. I was also part of So You Think You Can Dance, the Arabian version, by the way. So yeah, that was amazing because I learned a lot of different dance styles. But what
You're
makes
really
me
an Arabian prince. You're not stateless. I feel you're an Arabian prince.
in the last Nutcracker, during Christmas, I was dancing Arabian. So I was very happy because, like, believe it or not, I think I am the first real Arabian ballet dancers to perform Arabian dance in Nutcracker. That was fascinating. So in my dance style, I build bridges between ballet and the East, which is the Sufi dance with the twirling dervishes that you were talking about. I changed the concept of the skirt that we use in the Sufi dervish dance into the original one is a circle. I changed the concept of it to a spiral because I believe spiral can connect different spots to each other, like the universe to the earth, and it goes somewhere. So I changed this. I took a very, very big step by changing these kind of stuff. You don't change culture in Arabic world. So I was interviewed several times about why did I do that? Um, and why did I do that? Because before with the twirling dervishes, they're going in circles because they thought the world is spinning in circles. But now we know it's the universe goes in spiral, right? And it is the concept of the universe when you are twirling. So let's do that. So I mix it with with the ballet education that I have for almost 20 years now. And so I built the bridges between the East and the West through my dance, and I could speak to so many minds and hearts through my dance. And people would just listen. Like, who wants to listen to a stateless refugee story if he was not a ballet dancer? So I told like I would train myself every day to become an elegant voice for my people. So other people could listen to me and give me an ear. And okay, tell me your story. You are a real dancer. Tell me your story. How could you be a real dancer being a refugee? Well, refugees also human beings, if you train them, or I don't like to use the them and us and them and this kind of concept. Because we are all human beings and we all believe, because also it's about belief. We all believe freedom should be divided equally, exactly like opportunities. opportunities also should be divided equally. So yeah, and finishing my talk, I would just say like my dream is that I want to live in a world where no children has to suffer or has to be homeless.
Thank you so much, Ahmed, for your inspiring story, for your bravery, for dancing and twirling and being such an elegant voice for your people, and for unity and building bridges for oneness across the earth with dance. You were such an inspiration. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would love to introduce Saadi Simone, who is a dear friend, activist. We've shared stages together before. We've dance battled each other. And most importantly, we care most about making dance a language of impact in liberation, in peace. Sa, if you could share with the world, with our Davos leaders, how you have done incredible humanitarian work with dance in Indonesia, with homeless shelters, but also how you use dance as a tool for peace, locally, globally. You're such an inspiration to me, and I'm so excited to have you with us, with these other world leaders using the arts for change.
Thank you so much. And wow, what an amazing group. And I'm so honored to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to just quickly give a little context to like how I see dance. You know, when you bring attention and intention to your dance, it is a radical tool for healing and liberation. Because when we think about like every challenging experience we have, it leaves an impact on the body. We've heard the very famous book, The Body Keeps the Score. And so many of us are trained into speaking about our pain, speaking about our suffering, and thinking about it and ruminating on it. And when we speak about the power of dance as a healing tool, we're bringing a bottom up approach to healing, not a top down. And when you think about the conventional therapeutic model of talking about your suffering and the top down approach, research shows that 1/4 of the people who participate in this kind of therapeutic model get something out of it. That's pretty good. And when you think about dance as a somatic healing tool, the bottom up approach, what you can do is literally silence the chatter and allow the body to unravel the past while simultaneously helping to dream a new dream. So through dance with attention and intention together, which means bringing your awareness into your body and setting in motion that I want to heal, I want to set myself free, I want to dream a new dream, magic can happen. You know, and the stories that I've heard, the testimonials that we have about our work is it's kind of insane. Like I sometimes feel a little shy to share these testimonials that like 1 hour of this work has changed my life. 1 hour of this work, it feels like 10 years of therapy. I feel like myself again, or I feel like a new version of myself that I never even met before. We can unravel the past from our body through movement and breath. It is a simple, ancient tool that's been around for thousands and thousands of years. We've danced before we spoke, we've danced before we wrote, and it's overlooked in today's world because we're so quick to distract ourselves from feeling our feelings in our body. We're so quick to run away from what it means to be alive in the body and the pain that comes from being human. But through dance, we meet the pain. Through dance, we meet the discomfort. Through dance, we meet the unpleasantness, and we're able to make friends with it. And through this friendship that we make with the inevitable pain that comes from being alive, wisdom arises. And that wisdom is what I always hear in the testimonials, that after the dance, I feel so clear, my imagination is back on, my creativity is back on, I can finally dream a new dream. And you know, it is kind of a challenging thing to see, challenging but also cute and sweet to see people how hard people have of a hard time allowing themselves to feel safe in their bodies. Granted, the weight of the past is so alive in their bodies, so when you ask someone to start to move and get them to start to be aware of what's going on in their body, it feels frightening, right? Because it's coming into a room without any light. So through the process, you really see the challenging, you know, how restricted someone's movement is. And that kind of shows you through the dance and through my understanding, how someone dances, how someone lives, and how someone lives is how someone dances. And this kind of intersection and flow, we can really study someone's body language and really see like what they're holding, what they're hooked on, what's tight, and you really see a reflection in their life outside the dance floor. So my work is really much about helping people feel their feelings, resensitize to the body, resensitize to the human experience, to dispel apathy. Because I think the greatest sickness that we have in modern world is apathy. We are so apathetic. We don't feel with each other. We don't connect with each other. And through dance, we can reconnect to our bodies. And when we are resensitized to our own bodies, we can then reconnect to the bodies of others. We can then feel with each other what the experience of being human is like for them. So I think dance is the greatest tool to end what I believe the greatest sickness of modern world, which is apathy. And my work, it's wild to look back at the last 10 years and listen to you incredible people, Ahmed and Vandana, um, and looking back at my history with dance too. Dance has completely saved my life. I was a very disciplined yogi in the Himalayas, in Nepal, and in India, very much about stillness. But when I brought the stillness to the dance floor, that's when life changed for me. And then meeting Vandana on the dance floor in Indonesia, coming up to 10 years, it's wild. My life catapulted, my healing completely catapulted. And looking at how dance, my work with movement and somatics, has traveled from far and wide, from Indonesia to, orphan centers, to homeless children, I mean, homeless youth here in Los Angeles. And really, the vast majority of the work these days has become online, and seeing how people are moved by this work. It's it's so life affirming, because it's truly a practice and a ritual that has radically transformed my life. So it's an honor to be able to share these tools with the world. And my wish, my prayer is that more and more people are emphasizing this nonverbal communication of and telling stories of transformation through the body and watching what happens. Less talking, more movement, less thinking, more dance, and just watch what happens. It's like Vandana said earlier, we danced for hours under the jungle rain with mud up to our knees, and then we're like, who are you? This is cool. I love you so much already. And there's something so profound about that. And I think lastly, what I want to say is our culture has become so socialized to distract ourselves from being in our bodies that dance is a radical act of resistance, of activism, of being human. It's resisting modernity and resisting, and there's so much good that comes with it, so much prolific beauty, because look at us being able to connect from across the world right here thanks to modernity, but also thinking about what makes us human, being in a human body. And so much of modernity, through my view, has become about distracting ourselves from being in a human body through social media, plug in your distraction tool. So dance is a way that we can resensitize ourselves to being human, to being in the body, to feeling our feelings, to let go of the past, to dream a new dream, and most importantly, to have fun in this one short life. My work has brought me to sit with the sick and dying at Cedar Sinai Hospital here in Los Angeles, and to really sit with people at the end of their lives and hear that they didn't prioritize fun and connection and being in their bodies. Oftentimes, people prioritize doing, producing, creating, and there's room for that too. But I think dance reminds us that the present moment is really all we have. That this moment right here, right now, is the most important moment. Not tomorrow, not 5 years, not 10 years. And the 10 years and the 5-year plan and the tomorrow plan, um, it's good to have dreams, and it's good to have goals and aspirations. But the dance reminds us of the now. We're able to surrender to the present moment and soften to what's here in front of us right now, and feel and breathe and be and activate that innate joy. So my dream collectively with these incredible leaders is that we are traveling the world and bringing people back into their bodies to feel safe in their bodies and to express themselves authentically, genuinely, and learn how to move as themselves, you know? So thank you so much. It's truly an honor and a joy to be here and to participate in this incredible conversation of how dance can help heal the world. Let's resensitize ourselves to the human body. Let's find our way back into our temple, our bodies, and dream a new dream, one that is aligned with a collective prayer for peace for the world. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sa. What a beautiful share. And thank you for sharing from the heart and presence. How do we connect to the body? How do we connect to each other? Also, the statistics around dance. Dance is now the #1 tool for mental health. It's 50% more effective than any other practices, including yoga and working out. Dance is the #1 health tool in the world. It's not just seen as like, oh, the dancing, something that's not taken seriously. For our future, for the mental health and peace of our planet, dance is considered the #1 tool. So thank you for sharing this powerful, powerful vision and prayer saw for the world. Also for embodied leadership for our leaders at Davos. The decisions that leaders make, are we making them from fear, from disconnection, from overstimulation? Or are we making our decisions from the heart, from the body, from our intuition, which is also scientifically proven to lead to the best decisions, not only for ourselves, but for our communities and for all of the people that we reach with our companies, and also, most importantly, our families. That when we dance with our families and start our day with joy, that we create a high frequency of love and joy that lasts for the whole day. So thank you for this beautiful share, Sa. Very inspiring words. And next, I'm excited to introduce Faces, who I also met dancing, salsa dancing in this case. Faces is based in Mexico City, and I've witnessed Faces dancing at the Sundance as well. I've seen him host dance battles in Mexico City, work with the marginalized youth who come from like very challenging backgrounds and are facing a lot of challenges in Mexico City, which is one of the mega cities of the world. And I've also seen him at the Sundance with indigenous leaders and groups dancing for 4 days without food or water as a prayer, connecting dance to nature and ancestral wisdom with the chiefs from the Lakota tribe, and offering his flesh to the earth as an offering for peace, and honoring women through the body, through the dance. 4 days, no food and water. I've witnessed and Faces is our youth. So he's a bridge between the ancient dance and the dance that's happening in cities, and how the challenges youth are facing, and using dance as a tool to overcome many of the challenges and that we're going to be facing in the 21st century in cities across the world. So thank you, Faces, for being a bridge for hip hop culture, for being a bridge for the ancestral wisdom. If you could share about your work, sharing dance in prisons. I know you shared, I think, a dance battle in a prison. Would love to hear that story, and would love to hear about the experience of the dance that you bring from ancestral wisdom onto the urban stage.
Thank you, Vandan. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for listening, and thank you for the invitation. Sorry if my English is not really good. It's not my main language, but I'm gonna do my best effort. I'm Edgar Reyes. Everybody called me Faces. I told Vandana that I would like everyone to know how am I called in the dance world, because the street dance, is the dance that I do, is really like into make our own identity and making our own new name as we wish. So that's my real name for me, like Faces. And I want to start like saying that I don't think that there is people that not dance. I think that there is just people that they have not discovered that they can dance. Like Vandana was saying, like I was in the Sundance, and the Sundance is like a Lakota ritual where we are just dancing to the sun for praying for our people and for ourselves and for the future and for anything that we want to pray for, right? And in there is no dancers. There is no, that, I think I'm the only dancer. There's like a lot of people from different backgrounds, different perspectives, like just praying for themselves. And it's not like you have to do a specific like step or a specific dance move. It's just about moving. It's just about moving in collectiveness. It's just about moving our body and connecting to something else. So yeah, that ritual is really special because when you are fasting, when you are not eating, when you are not having water, you just start like letting it all out, even your life itself. No, you're getting a little bit closer to that, and in that moment you realize exactly who you are and what you want. So I think this is not for everyone. This is something that is, you have to have a real purpose to do it. But when you are there and when you're feeling that energy and when you are there with the grandpas and with the chiefs and with all the people that is taking care of the energy, is really special and really powerful because even in Occidental cultures, we don't believe a lot in how energy moves in the universe. We as dancers have proven, and we live that, right? We live the energy that it goes out, how it comes back every time. So yeah, it's really powerful, and there is no dancers there. There is just people there. So I think dance is a really universal language, as you have said, because you don't have to know how to dance. I think that's the problem when you're saying to someone like that is not dancing, maybe some office worker or maybe some like regular governmental person, like, hey, dance, please move, learn how to dance. They are like, no, that's not my thing. That's not what I do, right? But it's because they have never tasted, they have never proven. And I think if we manage to make everyone dance, like to make everyone move and to feel how my fellow companions have said, like to feel their bodies and to feel their breathing and to feel their extremities, I think it would be really healing for everyone, and it would connect us in the same frequency, in the same language. Movement has always been here in our humanity. We as evolutionary people, like a species has evolved since we started walking, since we started jumping, since we started hunting. There has always been rhythm in us. There has always been something that is moving us together, and as we know, universe is rhythm too. So that's dance, and it has always been with us. So yeah, as my companions had said, I think the modern system has like really blocked us from hearing that rhythm that is everywhere, and it's in us too. And in dance we can rediscover ourselves in it. I have done it. I have done it a lot of times. I have been doing it for a lot of years now, like teaching the youth the street dance, put them into the cultures of the street dance, and making them have new identities. Sometimes people are having for like really difficult times because of their context. Sometimes in Mexico, there's really common that people come from context of violence or context of poverty or context of, yeah, like their context is not the best one, and it's pulling them to decayment like way. So dance has always been there like to save us, and I have seen it a lot of times through the people because of two main reasons. We can see dance as personal benefits and as collective benefits, right? And personal benefits, I have always think that dance is like superpowers. Dance is the most complete form of art, talking about personal development, because it works on our mind, on our bodies, on our emotions, and if you get deep enough, on our spirit, right? And when you discover this through dance, through movement, through techniques, through tools of movement and music, you start discovering a new self. Sometimes in Occidental culture, modern culture, it's known like we just learn from reading or we just learn from from the mind, right? But as Van said, our body is connected to our mind. It's nothing that is separated. It's the same thing. So if you unlock your body like in new movement, if you make your body go a little bit farther, if you learn how to control this finger instead a little bit more, everything is new neural connection, and that neural connection is gonna take you to another level of consciousness. So that's really important. We as dancers like to start discovering our body, and that's the beautiful part of dance, that we are always working ourselves. Is being an artist or being especially a dancer is a way of self-development and self-discovery, because it's really connected to yourself. It's not like when you are working for a company or where you are working for someone else, you're putting the work in some other energy, and instead of doing it to yourself. So being a dancer is really a blessing, because you are always working on empowering yourself through dance and through movement. That's in the personal, having superpowers and rediscovering and transmuting yourself every time to be better and better and better and better. And in the collectiveness, well, when you're in a dance group, when you're in ecstatic dance, when you are showing a class of something, there is always like empathy through everyone there, right? Because we are all doing the same thing. We are not talking, we are not fighting, we are just trying to do the same thing. So yeah, it's really beautiful to feel that. And what I've seen, like collectively and historically, since the rituals in the grandpas as the cultures that are backing the street dance, is that when people have like difficult contexts, or maybe like my friend that was difficult to find like an identity on a nation, then you become, for example, a b-boy or a popper, that is like the street dance names for some specific street dance, and you became part of a tradition of fight, a tradition of consciousness, a tradition of self-empowerment through the collective, through the people that are dancing that dances, and that codes are in the culture, and the culture is in the movement. So each movement of each street dance has a really powerful tool for making you a new identity and empower yourself through the history of all the people that have done that dance. For example, we have voguing from New York. That's a really dissident empowerment, because they have been discriminated for a lot of time. So that dance is really, really, really important for people to get empowerment, collective power. B-boy and breaking is really important for having like a strong movements and being strong through the adversities of life. So yeah, every street dance has this important thing that is gonna give you some identity. And yeah, and me as my personal mission, like Van said, is like I always listen to energy. I always listen to an intuition. That's another superpower of dancers. We're always there. So when I get to the Sundance and I discovered that I wanted to do that, I discovered that my mission was to bring that consciousness of my grandpas through the youth. Even it's so different. I'm not gonna tell the youth, hey, go do the Sundance, because that's not for everyone. I'm just taking that knowledge, that wisdom, and that connection with the universe through my movement and through what I'm teaching, to, even if a different language, is movement. And I want to bring all those people like really to connect with themselves, to stop thinking so much. We are mind sick in Occident. We have to connect to our intention, to our bodies. And from there, we can start doing a new world. We can start doing a new conscious world full of movement, of intuition, of connection, and of all these different things that can bring us like to a better world with more peace. Thank you very much for the invitation. And yeah, that's a little bit of myself.
Thank you so much, Faces. I've seen you in the dance battles. I've seen you at the Sundance, dancing for 4 days without food or water. Really, you're such an ambassador and inspiration and a reference for the world of how young people in cities can bring ancestral wisdom and their traditions into new, cool hip hop culture, electronic music culture, whatever it is, the new beats of the earth are creating, that there is a bridge. And that bridge is vital because it links the wisdom of our ancient rituals into the new rituals that are being created with awareness and to connection to the earth. a connection to how do we use dance as a language to also protect nature, to remember that we are nature and living in harmony with nature. This is what I witnessed seeing you in the Sundance. And then the same, I ran into faces in Mexico City. I was just walking down the street with a coffee, and I see faces with 60 dancers in a park, and he's moving all of them. And it's not professional dancers, it's just some dancers, some just people who love dance. We are all dancers, Davos. We are all dancers. And Faces is moving all of them. Like it's not a flash mob. He's just moving a class in the park, using public space, creating a frequency of joy. And you could see hundreds of people walking around, smiling so big, even that they weren't dancing, just witnessing the dance, being in the proximity of that high frequency of joy is incredibly transformative. So Davos, my incredible leaders around the world, please bring the power of dance into your companies. Please bring these beautiful dancers here who have dedicated their life to the art of dance to your companies, to bring the culture, to bring the healing modalities, to bring the embodied leadership that the 21st century is calling for, our youth is calling for. And let's bring the powers and wisdom from each dance culture from the world into the office so we truly have global citizens. Let's bring every dance culture and every dance movement from the world into our schools so every child has the opportunity to overcome mental health challenges, to feel confident, to feel in their bodies, to feel their full power and express their full potential. Thank you everyone on this panel for inspiring me, for giving so much meaning to this work and so much color and vibrancy and inspiration for everyone around the world. And there is no nation for dance. There is no gender. There is no religion. All of us are dancers. And this is a message that I know this whole panel cares about so much. We were meant to have the queen of the Yawanawa tribe, Putani, join us. I think there's some connection, technical problems. If she comes in at the very end, would be incredible. But if she doesn't, I just recently was in the Amazon of Brazil with the Yawanawa tribe, with the chief, Nishwaka, and the female leadership, Putani. She spoke at Davos last year and did a ritual. And she is one of the most inspiring female leaders I have ever met in my life. And she uses dance in her community to empower the women, these indigenous women who they almost lost their culture completely. And the chief came and reinstated the culture with the music and the dance. They dance together in the shape of a serpent. They dance together and they move as a pack. They don't move just as individuals. They care about the collective and they use the dance to move as a people, as into oneness, into the connection to nature. They are the faces and voices of the Amazon. And they are representing and protecting these territories that are vital in our 21st century for us to protect all of our national territory, all of our nature and territories across the world. And indigenous leaders are the most important leaders protecting our future generations and our environment. So I want to celebrate Putani for season 2 of We Speak Dance. We have filmed her and her leadership in the Amazon and how she ignites the feminine force through dance and protection and connection of nature. We will have many more stages to share, to tell her story at Davos and beyond, and building this bridge across all cultures. So I would love to invite each of us, Saw, Faces, Ahmed, to share a dance move, a movement that embodies peace, a movement that embodies joy, a movement that embodies unity, that we can share with our audience and that they can take home and teach their families, their friends, their communities, their colleagues, bring this to their offices and make this commitment to move every day, to shake every day, to shake the fear, and to open the heart for the next generation. So
My love, Queen Putani is here.
she is.
Yeah.
Where?
Right here. We
Oh, I don't see her. Oh my gosh, Putani is here.
Yeah.
I didn't see. Oh, for some reason my screen didn't show her. I would like to welcome Putani. Before we share our dancers, Putani, please, we would be honored to have your words.
Você tem que apertar o botão para você poder falar. Aqui, embaixo. Entende? Dá para me ouvir? I need to translate, right, Vandana?
We have a translator on, Cloud,
Okay.
but Cloud, can you please tell them to unmute the mic? Or Michelle, if you could unmute her mic. Oh, we're perfect. Welcome, Queen Putani. Thank you for joining us at Davos.
Obrigado, Putani. Muito obrigado por estar aqui com a gente em Davos.
Putani, if you could share about how dance is used as a tool for peace and for protection of the Amazon and women's empowerment in your story and power connected to dance.
Putani, se você poderia compartilhar com a gente como você entende a dança, você usa a dança como essa ferramenta de conexão, de união, de empoderamento lá no seu povo, no seu território, desde a Amazônia.
Olá, bom dia. Bom dia, minha amiga, minha querida irmã Bandana, a todos meus irmãos, né, que estão acompanhando nesse momento essa live. Né,
Good morning, Vandana, my dear sister Vandana, and everybody, brothers and here, watching this live.
Agradecer com muito carinho, com todo amor, né, por esse momento tão maravilhoso.
Giving thanks for this, for everything in this life and for this beautiful moment.
Para mim é uma grande honra, uma grande alegria, né, poder participar, né, desse momento com todos vocês.
For me, it's a great honor and a great joy to be sharing here with all of you.
Também poder dividir, compartilhar um pouco da nossa energia, da nossa conexão aqui, da nossa floresta, aqui no Brasil, aqui do meu povo Yawanawá, aqui na minha casa, aldeia sagrada.
And to be able to share with you all also a little bit of our connection, our energy from my people, from the Yawanawa people here in the Brazilian Amazon, here in my home.
E assim, falar da dança para mim é muito especial, muito lindo, né? A dança para mim, ela é uma ferramenta de cura, de amor, de paz, de união, de muita alegria.
It's very special for me to talk about dance. For me, dance is a tool for healing, for connection, for love, for bringing joy.
Né, o meu povo, né, o povo Yamanauá, ele passou por muitos momentos, por muitos processos, desde o nosso contato, e quando a gente renovou, né, dentro da nossa espiritualidade, com a presença das mulheres dentro desse terreiro espiritual.
My people, the Yawanawa people, went through very difficult processes, many processes since the first contact with a white man. And in this process of recovery of our world, women have played an important role in this reconnection.
E meu povo passou um processo muito forte, né? Depois nós temos um ancestral, meu avô, né, que fez o nosso contato. E depois da passagem do meu avô, né, nós fizemos passamos muitos processos, quase que perdimos, né? É a nossa língua, né? É a nossa cultura, a nossa espiritualidade. E as mulheres também, elas não tinham, né? Eu sempre falo que o terreiro espiritual, do povo Yawanawá, ele só pertencia aos homens, né? Então, depois desse momento, desse processo, de tudo que aconteceu, a nossa própria espiritualidade, como fosse convidou as mulheres a entrarem dentro desse terreiro espiritual.
It was actually my grandfather who made the first contact. It was not too long ago. And in this process, after that, we went through a very difficult process of where we were losing our culture. We almost lost our language. Could not do our rituals, and our knowledge and our world was disappearing until we started a new time of recovery, and the spiritual world was something in a traditionally for us only meant for men. I always say that the spiritual ground belonged to men traditionally in my people, but after these processes of disappearing of our culture, it was like our own spirits, our own spirituality, our ancestors spiritually invoked the women to come and play an important role in the recovery of our culture.
Então, nesse novo momento, né, da entrada, né, como se fosse a nossa espiritualidade, ela convocou guerreiros, né, mas guerreiros, né, femininos, guerreiros, mulheres, jovens, crianças. Então, nessa entrada das mulheres, então entrou, né, um novo momento para o nosso povo. E esse novo momento, ele renovou, ele fortaleceu a nossa cultura, a nossa espiritualidade, no modo geral.
So the spirits, they called the warriors and the women warriors as well, and the youth and everybody to join in this process. And the women and the youth played a very important role. They did a powerful work to spiritually recover our world.
E falando mais assim da dança, né? O meu povo tem a nossa dança tradicional, né? Que a gente sempre teve dança, mas de uma forma, né? Assim, bem tradicional, né? Dentro dos nossos ancestrais que já haviam deixado. Então, quando as mulheres entraram, né? E eu recebi, né? Eu não falo que eu recebi a dança, mas eu trouxe esse fortalecimento, eu trouxe mais cores, mais como fosse alegria. Eu estava ouvindo, acho que o nosso irmão falando que ele juntou o tradicional com o moderno. Então, dessa forma também, eu sinto que a gente também fez. A gente já existia, já tinha as nossas danças. Então, a gente aperfeiçoou, a gente trouxe o tradicional para o moderno, que foi uma linguagem que todo mundo entendeu. Então, né, quando todo mundo entendeu essa linguagem, esse ritmo, todo mundo se deu a mão, né, para todo mundo dançar junto, no mesmo pensamento, né, no mesmo entendimento e na mesma direção.
And my people always had dance. I mean, talking about dance, well, there was always traditional dances. There was very always like the same, right? The traditional work of dance. But then in this process of recovery and bringing the female energy into this sacred ground, I received this dance. And it's not that I received the dance, but I received this calling to bring something else, a feminine into this dance. And just like our brother was explaining that he's mixing and bridging the modern dances and the ancestral and the traditional dances and bringing something together. We did exactly the same. We started bringing more modern things and also more colors and more beauty and more rhythm. And then in this, people started getting together and dancing and bringing more joy and then suddenly everybody was there holding hands and being united. So it was really powerful.
So I just want to jump in and say thank you guys so much. I know we're going to be cutting out here soon, but this was an incredible panel. All of you are just so amazing, and I feel very honored to be here today with you guys. Thank you again. I encourage everyone to watch the Netflix second season when it comes out, and thank you all.
Thank you so much. And maybe at the same time, all of us can dance together now. So we don't have time to each do our moves, but everyone at the same time, maybe we can all dance from our own places.